Alright, you bastards. This is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to talk about altruism and how you should handle it as a prepper. And before we start, if you're interested in detective stories, in the link in the description there will be a link to my first book called Bloody Crosses. It's a detective stories, and if you're interested, just take a look. So, altruism. Why should we talk about altruism? Because some people are black and white divided about this. Some people say never help somebody else because they will not help you. Other peoples are like, no, good karma, if you help somebody else will help you. But I'm more in the middle, like usual. I can see the good side and the bad sides from both parties, and it's all about how to it's about using intuition, it's about thinking logically, and sometimes it's about making hard decisions that will be more beneficial to you and your family. So altruism is helping other people. That's the basic thing. But I want to talk about certain things like who should you help, how could you help, and what are some of the rules of altruism, because there are certain rules that should be applied in this situation. So let's first talk about who should you help. Of course, I would say the person you should always help are the people close by, like close friends, family, neighbors, and this might sound a little bit strange, but I would rather help um, people who are on a bug out or on evacuee than people who are that I don't know but are in the neighborhood. Why? Uh, yeah, the reason why is if this yeah, I will first talk about the people that you should not help, to make this clear. The second, the people you should not directly help, but I would say those are the secondary people. I would say these are colleagues. We all know these. Some people are getting along great with their colleagues, but those are then more friends than colleagues. But I'm talking about colleagues, the persons who know you. They know that you are a prepper. They know that you do something in that kind of area. And the bad thing is, these people don't know you enough to be your friends, but they know you enough so they can and get your name, they can get your address through work or via through somebody else that asking somebody else who they know at your work, and then they can perhaps know your where you live, and they can come after, they will get after your supplies when shit hit the fan, and that's dangerous. So only tell it to your close friends and, and colleagues, but the colleagues that you do not know that good, it's kind of risky to be seen for obsec reasons. The next thing is acquaintances. I'm talking about people that you know but are not really like your friends, like I said with the colleagues. But real friends, I'm talking the friends that will help you in the middle of the night when you're in trouble, that you can call anytime. These friends you can count on the five fingers of your hands. All the others are acquaintances. So they know you, like I said before, they know you good enough to they know you good enough to know what you're doing, but they have not have a personally big relationship to not rob you when shit hit the fan, is what I'm trying to say. Of course, strangers, and this is what I'm talking about. The next thing is local, and I don't know what the most political correct word is, but I'm talking about bums, hobos, marginalized people, the people that are in the neighborhoods, that live in your neighborhood, and those are the people that you want to avoid because perhaps they are addicts, they have mental issues, perhaps they are just jerks, dicks, or karens, those kind of things. And this is the point where I wanted to return for about why I would rather help an evacuee and a bug out person than people in the than these kind of people in the neighborhood, because the people who are on a bug out or an evacuee, they are just passing through. They have a destination where they are going to, but they are long gone by the time the way that you help them with giving them some supplies, they will be too far away to get back. People who are local, like I said before, bums, hobos, um, people who are just jerks, dicks, whatever, addicts, mental problems, they they know that you're from around. They've seen you before. perhaps they even know who you are, and they will get back. They will come back after you help them, give them supplies, and these are usually the kind of people that can be helped. I know it sounds cruel, but some people you just cannot help. We're talking, like I said before, we're talking about addicts who are perhaps during a shitty defense situation on a withdrawal. They can be the most bad situation that you can imagine during shitty defense because they were only helped before because they had a social network that was catching them up, from the from the government, family, or perhaps some good charity organizations. But when those things fall away, they're on their own and they will become ferocious predators, is what I'm trying to say. I know it's not with everyone, some people can be redeemed, but trust me, during a shitty defense situation, all cards are off the table and anything can happen. And you cannot, as a prepper, you cannot take the chance to even make peace of one of those persons. So, and what I was talking about, the mental persons, the people, I was talking about the addicts. The addicts, from the moment they are in a withdrawal, some some sort of drugs that people are withdrawing from, they will go crazy. They will get hallucinations and they will do the most horrible shit. They can be nice people, but from the moment they're starting to get withdrawals, they will do anything to get their fixed. And even if it's hurting people, they the people who care most for them and love them, they get screwed over in a lot of cases in these situations. And imagine what it is during shitty the fan, and they will not know you that well. So imagine what they can do then. And I'm talking about the people with mental problems, of course. I personally don't like to deal with people with mental problems. A little example is in France. I was walking with my friends around the docks, and we saw from far away there was some sort of junkie bothering people, talking to himself, making this kind of erratic movements. And I was walking around in my kilt, and I knew this kind of person are attracted to weird things and they will make problems. And we were walking around, and luckily that first time he did nothing. He just looked at me, and we just passed through fast enough that he could not catch up. But yeah, most people are like, what is the problem? You can handle that kind of person. You are a big guy. You can fight them off. The reason why I don't like to fight with those kind of people is they got nothing to lose. I don't like to have to deal with the aftermath with the police and judicial system, and perhaps they have some kind of disease from shooting up heroin or whatever. And during a fight, I don't want to catch that disease by splattering blood. And yeah, I just don't like to fight in general, but I'm prepared to fight. And later, when we split off with a friend group, and I was drinking with another friend at a local bar, this junkie suddenly came into my face, and if it was not for the bartender who know that guy, he trying to distract the guy a little bit. Otherwise, it would have gone really bad. And that is what I want to try to avoid, because this was in an area that is touristy, that is highly governmental, and even then there were trouble. So imagine during shitty event. The next thing is people with criminal tendencies. What do I mean about that? I'm not talking about people who do criminal for a living. I'm talking about, we all know these kind of people, the people who are just dicks, who are just looking for trouble, like to vandalize. They are just rebels without a cause, and they're going to the bar to just have a fight for fun. These kind of criminal tenant problems, so like like small youth gangs, and these kind of criminal people who do criminal things without a profit, is what I'm trying to say. So imagine during city in the fan, those kind of local persons, do not help them, because from the moment they know that you got shit, they will come after you. And the last thing is, the people I would not help in an area, in my general area, is people who are in denial and unadjusted. And this is something that will happen in the beginning periods of a shitty defense situation. These are the kind of people that are not yet adapted to the new reality of shitty defense. These are the people who have perhaps never had problems in their lives. They are always getting what they want. They got a little bit, how do you call that syndrome that they used in the American courts, affluential syndrome or whatever. People who are just cannot adapt to the new situation. if you help them, they will not adapt mentally to the new reality. So in the beginning, they will say, oh, they will have a higher standard of living and they will want to keep it any way that they want. And that makes them more dangerous, in my opinion. So don't help them and they will realize, oh shit, I got to get my shit together to get through the situation. And that will help them prepare mentally to help themselves. So, yeah, this was about talking who you would help and who not. And the next thing is how to help certain people. I've made a video about a giveaway package. These are some packages that you can give away to people who need help. Like I said before, like those bug out evacuees, perhaps some people around that you perhaps not know that good, like your neighbors. But you have to be very carefully in this. I'm set about this video to give those giveaway packages. Make it look that you do not have much. That it's you give some things that you have just that you can spare. I'm talking about give it first of all give it away not in a professional bag or a package or a vacuum pack, but give it away in just a regular grocery plastic bag. So it looks like oh it's just improvised. I've just put some things therein, so it will not seem that you are much prepared. The next thing is just put some the basic in like water, matches, a few cans of food, and perhaps some of those paper towels. Something that looks like you can only give those things away because they were cheap things from grocery stores that were during good times. I would say give them water in plastic bottles like this, so it will look like that. Don't give them a water filter because those are very expensive, and yeah, they will know that you're prepared more a little bit than the others. So the next thing is how much should you give of water and food? I would say give them enough to that they could cross a certain distance, but not enough that they will come back. If you catch what I'm trying to say is, if they have a certain destination, give them enough water that, for 3 days that they will be able to walk many miles, and not enough to think, my rations are getting low. Perhaps I can go back to the guy who gave me a lot. So that's a little bit of a balance that you need to think of yourself. Um, and the last thing I would say with this, to who do you give these ration packs away? You cannot help anyone. Like I said before, you cannot help anyone. Sometimes you have to make a hard decision, but make decisions like if it's a single person, yeah, you can give them some, but don't give them too much. And the most dangerous people to give too little to is parents. If you, I would always give somebody with children something for the children, but if you give too little to people with children, they will do anything to keep their children fed. So give them a little bit more, but yeah, like I said before, it's a balance things. And wait, oh no, I think I thought my bell was going. The next thing is if you're going to help somebody in public, like there are certain things that you would give. Personal experience was I was on a date. I was waiting for my date in a big city, and some guy with I think it was one of those refugees with placards in English. He came on to me and said, "I live on the edge of the city in a trailer with my family. We are all hungry. Can you give me some money or food?" So I prefer to give somebody some food instead of money, uh, and for the reason that happened next, because I gave one of my I cannot show you, but it's one of my small ration packets, emergency rations from a convar. So I gave it to the guy because I always have this in my EDC, and the first reaction this guy had was, mm, 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 to sign to me that he has toothache, so he cannot eat that food that he rather would have wanted money. But I just said, you can crumble it up, mix it with water, and then you can eat it. But that's a little bit of the mentality in the city when times are not shit hit the fan, but good, that they would rather have money. But I don't like to give them money, cigarettes, alcohol. And the last thing I would never give somebody is medication. Even if somebody is in a first aid situation that they think, I have a headache. Can you? I know you have some first aid. I know you have some medication like aspirin or something in there for my headache, or something for my tummy. don't give it to them for the next reason why. I will always give somebody first aid for direct wounds or something like that, first aid. But medication is a whole different thing. I only give medication if the person is in life danger. But for something like a headache, yeah, you can help somebody like that, but they can get allergic reaction to that medication, or they can act like they have an allergic reaction to that medication, and they will sue you later on. So that's something that you need to think about and can be dangerous. Even if you are good-hearted and you want to help people, don't give medication for that reason unless it's a life of that situation. So the same thing goes for medication, that people with drug addiction, they will get their fix anyway, anyhow. So if you give them something like a painkiller, yeah, it's not for the reasons that you wanted. But yet again, if they're addicts and you don't give it, they can get very aggressive. They can get withdrawals, and that is a very bad situation for later on. So it's on your own discretion. It's very difficult, and this is what I'm talking about in the beginning about there are about black and white situations. There's always a gray area that you as a prepper need to think about. What do you give to somebody as aid next to a giveaway package? If it's to help other people, I would say blankets, water, uh, advice, directions, first aid, food, those kind of things. And I've been now we're going to talk about the rules of altruism, because I believe there are certain rules that need to be applied for both parties, for the giver and the receiver. I've been part of the receiver once during one of the hottest days in Belgium. I was crazy enough to do a long bug out. I made a video about this. It's I think it's about 30 kilometers that I did a bug out exercise in full gear, and yeah, it was very hot, and I was a little bit cocky enough on the end to think I don't need to refill this for the last 5 kilometers, and I overestimated it, and I was almost dehydrated for that short distance, even with all my gear and what I did, and because of the reflection of the concrete and all. So yeah, I was in a bad spot, and I saw somebody giving water to the plants, and I asked that guy, could I please get some could I please ask for some water from your hose to fill my bottle? I will filter it. But the guy was, oh, no problems. I'll go inside, and he gave water from this water bottle, so it was like spring water. And I'm really thankful for this kind of persons, and that's what I'm talking about. The rules of altruism. I asked for something that I needed, and I did not ask more than he could give. At that moment, he could have only given me the water from the hose. It's not the best water, perhaps, but it's something. I would have filtered it out myself. But he was generous enough to give me water from the bottle. So this is what I'm talking about. Give be appreciated with what you get. Don't get angry or frustrated as somebody gives you less than you expected. Anything that you get is at least something, and be grateful for that. And don't ask more than the other party was willingly to give you in the first place. So these are a little bit of the rules. Next thing of the rules are just ask, but don't be an aggressive or a guilt beggar. I hate these kind of people that are aggressive, get into your face, blocking your way to beg for you, to beg for money or for something else. And the same thing is for guilt people who are acting as sad as possible, or have a dog or small child to beg for certain things. You see these a lot in the big cities. I don't like this, not because I don't empathy with the situation. I find it always um, I find it always bad that persons need to live on this kind of way, but it's a bad way to live in if you for doing it in an aggressive or a guilt stripping way. Because if you do it like that, the persons who give something, the next time they see a beggar, they will assume, oh, it's one of those aggressive or guilt tripping beggars. I'll go to the other side of the street and avoid him. So by doing this kind of begging tactics, you are making it worse for the next person who needs help. So always be humble, ask, and if they say no, don't get aggressive or frustrated. Just go to the next one, or try to get a little bit of humor in it. I once saw a beggar with a sign that said, "I need €5 for for karate lessons. Ninjas took my house." and that's a better way to back in a way. So I know it sounds a little bit like privilege, but these are the rules of altruism in my way. The next thing is, if you're going to have to, when somebody is in a bad time, or yourself, like you broke up with your wife or your girlfriend and you need to leave the house, you got set out of your thrown out of your house because you did not pay your bills, whatever. There's a situation that you cannot temporarily get rent a house or stay at family or something like that for a certain period of times. You can sleep with a friend or you can sleep with a friend, but there are certain rules in this situation. I would say give sleep where they say that you can sleep. Don't get annoyed when they say sleep on the couch. You can sleep here on the couch. Oh, I know you have an extra bed. Don't be like that. I would even be happy if I sleep on the floor in that kind of situations. The next thing is, if you're staying at somebody else's home, help wherever you can. Do the washes, help with the laundry, help them clean the house. Watch the children if they are out of the house. Go do some groceries. Those are the things that you need to help with to justify your stay at those at there. The next thing I would say is, give them some privacy during the day. Don't just litter on the couch like a couch potato. Go out, improve your situation, look for alternatives, or go to the fitness and spend there a few hours perhaps, but give them some privacy. It's a very annoying. I know some people who had some people over, or family members, and they were so annoyed that they were all day all there, and they could not even go to bed and having some kinky time without the person hearing that in house. And imagine that for 6 months. It was for those kind of persons very hard and difficult time, and could lead to conflicts and stress. So during the day, leave the house and do something else to give the persons who gave you shelter some privacy. The next thing is, change weekly. What do I mean by that? Like I said before, some persons stayed 6 months in the house because they could not find another place, and that's very annoying. So what I would suggest is, try to change weekly to lessen the burden upon the people who give you shelter. One week you can stay with those friends, and then you can say, I will stay with those friends for a week, and that way you also not mooch enough of their resources, and you are giving them privacy if you change, and that's a better way to perhaps getting some connections that can help you to a new job, a new house, a place to rent, or a co-rent or something like that situation. So that's something that you really need to think about. That was all I'm having to say about altruism. So leave a like in the comments. Give a comment about situations that you had or you know somebody had, and perhaps some tips. I'm always eager to learn. Please leave those in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers.